What age did you figure out your life? I asked because I feel so dumb compared to my friends. I'm 21 years old and my friends are all set towards the career they want, and I don't even know if this job is really what I want. Another great letter, and I really, really thank you guys for sending all of this, for allowing me to be a part of your thought process, for revealing a lot of intimate details about your life, your thoughts, your soul, your struggles, and I hope that I am being helping. I guess I hope that I am helping you in one way or another. But really, I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful and so grateful, and also undeserving of the trust. But yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so as you know, I don't have any kind of professional credential to provide any kind of mental, emotional, or psychological advice. So maybe this is more an opinion rather than an advice. But I hope that this helps you. Okay, I will read part of the letter, the parts that she allowed me to read. I feel so left out and so dumb. I am 21 and my friends are all set towards the career they want, and I don't even know if this job is really what I want. I feel so ashamed for not knowing or not understanding. So I pretend that I got it figured out. But after that, I feel dumber or a liar. It makes me question why I was even born if I'm going to be this useless and dumb. It's not that I'm not trying to be something or know what I want to do, but I just can't figure it out. Most of the time, being around other people is just making me feel dumber and useless. Even though one's younger than me, I'm unqualified to do things they do. I don't even have my own place yet. Is there anyone who feels the same? I know it sounds horrible, but it will make me feel better knowing others feel the same thing too. What age did you figure out your life? Is it possible these people are every bit as clueless as I am about what the protocol is for dating, what kind of job to get, how to choose the job to get, how to choose the job, okay, getting into the right college or finding the right place to move, making friends as an adult? Is it possible that these people are just better at hiding it? About 99.9% of everyone on earth don't know what they're doing. They just go through life. And then one day they wake up and they go, what did I do? What have I been doing all this time? I don't know if it's 99.9%, but there's a lot of people who don't know what they're doing. And that includes me. So to answer your question, what age have I figured out? Did I figure out my life? The answer is I will let you know once I've figured it out. I have absolutely no idea what am I here for, why am I alive, why am I consuming this space. And there was a time in my life when those questions consumed me. But the one thing, and yes, I'm surrounded by a lot of great people. All of my friends, all of them are achievers. And so the one thing that worked for me is humor. My father has always been a very, very funny guy, and humor was a huge part of my life growing up. Things weren't easy for us. We were very, very poor growing up. But so long as at the end of the day we find ourselves laughing at something, being able to laugh things off, I realized that it's really the best armor you can ever have. It's an energy booster of some kind. It makes you feel invincible, and not really invincible, but it gives you that push of energy, just enough to keep on going. So I've never been the type, because of that, I've never been the type to cower whenever I go through something difficult. I've never surrendered or sink into depression. I've always or sank into depression. Sorry. So I've always been able to push through. If I go through something difficult, I always try to pull back and find the one thing that will make me laugh about this situation, and then I can move forward. So the thing is that, as I've said, there was a time when I really can't figure things out. But so I decided maybe I live for others for the moment until until such time when I know what I really want to do. I will live for others. The things that I'm not the hero type, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not gonna be a hypocrite or be pretentious or whatever. But I'm not the hero type. I'm not the kind of person that will risk my own life if I see somebody about to get hit by a train. I'm too much of a chicken to risk my own life in that situation. So I had to start with something really small. And I thought, well, maybe my family, they deal with my shit day in and day out. So maybe I can start with that. And so I said, okay, I'll start with small goals. That's the key. I started with small goals. So I said, okay, the goal is to be able to take my family at least once a month, just to eat out. And it wasn't even because I was just starting out with my career. I didn't have a lot of money, and so I didn't have the much as I wanted to. I really can't take them to another country for a vacation, so I would just take them out for lunch or for dinner once a month. And it was just unbelievable, the kind of happiness I saw in their faces when they were eating those fast food when we were in a fast food restaurant. And I felt like this is pathetic if we're in a fast food restaurant, but they were so happy being able to spend time with me and the rest of the family. So my mom and my dad, and of course the little girl that I helped raise, my niece Marian. So all of the three of them are the most special ones, of course, the closest to my heart. And so it was just amazing to see how happy they are being able to go out and have fun together, including my other family members. And so how when you see that your efforts is resulting to something good, it sort of gives you an energy. It gives you a motivation to actually keep on going. It's a sort of a cheer, a congratulations of some sort when you see that your efforts is resulting to something good. That's the best award or recognition you can ever get. And so I feel like maybe I need to sort of boost it up a little. So from a small goal, I added another layer of it so that it's not so small, but it's not so big yet. And so maybe I said, maybe every now and then I can save a little bit more just so I can take them into a fine dining restaurant. Or maybe I can buy them a shirt or a pair of shoes. Maybe not so expensive because I don't have the money, but just little something. And it made them even happier. So that was the key. Start something small and then just gradually upgrade it. But then as time goes on, I realized that I just need to do something more than just money, because I just didn't have, as I've said, I didn't have a lot of money at that time because I was just starting out in my career. And so I knew that if I wanted to improve things, it has to be in another way, not something that will require money. And so I said, why don't I just become a better daughter? How about that? So the thing is that, how we spend time with our friends, we like talking to our friends, we ask them about their day, what happened with their boyfriends, or, stuff like that. So when we have a new friend, we like talking about their past because we're interested, what did you take up when you were in college? What did you study when you were in college? Or maybe, who was your ex-boyfriend? Like, what's your hobby or things like that. And so I told myself, maybe I need to get to know my parents as people as well, because they've always been just mom and dad to me. That's their identity. So I need to get to know them. The same way I spend time talking to my niece. I talk with her about her activities in school, her friends, or whatever. I need to talk to my parents as well. I need to spend time with them and I need to listen to them. And so that's how it started. I just started asking them questions like, how many boyfriends did you have before you married dad? Or how many girlfriends did you have before you married mom? Or what did you like doing when you were in school? Where did you go to school? Like, who were your friends? Things like that. And as I listened to them, I slowly got to know them as people. As I've said, they've always been just mom and dad to me. But as I gotten to know them as people, things started to make sense a little bit. Things started to make sense a little bit. My mom has always been very, very stringent with money, and my dad has always been a foodie. And growing up, you kind of just accept that, like, oh, my mom is very strict when it comes to money, and my dad likes eating, and that's just how it is because that's how things were growing up. But then I realized, because I started listening to them and getting to know them, things started to make sense. So there's a little bit more understanding between us. I remember my dad shared this story when he was growing up, when he was a little boy. And he walked into a room, I think in a school. They were very, very, very poor when they were growing up. And he said that he was so hungry at that time. He was very, very hungry, and he saw a half-eaten banana on a table. And he knew that he shouldn't be touching it because it wasn't his, but he was so hungry. And there was like salt or something. And so he took the banana and then dipped it into a salt or something. And that was the best damn banana he's ever had in his life. And when he was saying it, it was so funny. We were all laughing. But then things like sort of clicked, right? Like, that's why I like food. That's why now whenever you have a chance, you like eating good food, because growing up it was never something that you had. And the same thing with my mom. She started working even before, like she was 9 or 8 when she started working. And so that has always been her orientation. You need to plan money because you don't know when you're going to get it. So things like that, things will start making sense. Why were things the way they were when you were growing up? When you get to know your parents as people, their experiences before becoming parents, just things at home make more sense a little bit. And the thing that it did is it made me want to do better in my career, because knowing what they had to go through in order to get to where they were made me feel like maybe if I do good, all the difficulties they went through would amount to something. Like maybe at least to a certain extent it will be worth it. Not fully worth. I don't think that anybody should live the way that they lived when they were growing up, but maybe it sort of will at the very least amount to something. And so I've always wanted to be an astronaut. It just things didn't work out that way. But I didn't like what I was doing at that time. But I thought, you know what, maybe I can't like spend my entire life crying about the fact that I never became an astronaut. But if I can just do better, I can give my best in this career, maybe it will afford me to create a better life outside of work. So then, I have my work, and then I can, because of this, I'm able to create a better life. So then, because of this better life, the sacrifices will be worth it. The thing is that it also inspired me to help other people. As you get used to the situation, like, okay, I'm able to take care of my family, but what else can I do? Like, you have to upgrade, right? Eventually you need to evolve. And so I just made a commitment to help. I am not a huge charity person. I don't have the money to donate hundreds of thousands, but whenever I can, I help. And it's not just always charities. Like if somebody's going through a difficult time, I'll help. If I can, then I'll help. And before, so I did, I would help. And it's not always just financial. Like if a friend is going through a heartache and needs somebody to talk with for the night, I'll be there. If I have the time, then I'll be there. And it also gave me, to a certain degree, it's so weird, it sort of gave me the permission to just do whatever I want on certain days. Like now I can just travel, and that travel doesn't need to amount to anything. I can just go go to another country or go to another place just because I want to do that. Or maybe I want to shop, I want to buy a new shirt or whatever, a new pair of shoes or whatever. I pursued things like, okay, I'm gonna study the guitar, or I'm going to continue writing. And I don't feel obligated for all of those hobbies to amount to something. It can be something as simple as playing a video game or binge watching a series or whatever, and I do not feel guilty because I feel like, hey, I was able to do something. This is my reward for myself. This is my tap on my own back. This is my way of telling myself, okay, good job. You can do something useless. You can do something for yourself this time. And in between all of those, I have a job, which is in marketing. I have my passion, which is writing. and I have a purpose, and that is to help whenever I can. Again, doesn't have to be huge help. It can be something very small. It doesn't have to be monetary. It can be lending an ear to listen to, or a shoulder to cry on, or just being there, just your presence. Have I gotten things figured out? Hell no. I haven't gotten things figured out. There are still days when my failures and my mistakes and the people that I've hurt and the bad things that I've done consume me. There are days when I feel like I'm alone, days when I just feel so confused as to why all of these things exist. There are days when I still hate myself for not being like others, my friends who've gotten things figured out. But I have people to help. I still have my family to take care of. I have a job, I think about that. I have a job. If I don't do well in this job, there are other people that will suffer, because other people are employed in this company and they rely on their salaries to take care of their families. So if I don't do it well, they and their family will suffer. So I think, all of those things put together, I feel like it's one more day. I can do this one more day, and then I just keep on doing it over and over again. So I guess that's in this this long video. I think the point is just try to start with something small. Make something small your purpose, whether it's helping your family or helping a kid to go to school or whatever, but start with something small. And then just keep on doing that. And when you're confused and you're pissed at yourself, just remember, okay, I need to get it together because there's this one person relying on me. I have a goal to do, to achieve, and so I need to keep going because I need to achieve that goal. And then of course, do not forget to acknowledge the good result of that thing that you're doing. Don't forget to give yourself a tap in the back. Tell yourself this is a good thing that you're doing. It may not be your purpose in life, but at least you're doing something that's substantial. And reward yourself. Make sure that you also treat yourself, whether you pursue another hobby or you spend your entire weekend playing video games, or maybe, I don't know, you take up studying the guitar, or just studying a new language. And in between living for something, driving to achieve that goal that you set for yourself, and rewarding yourself, maybe you'll find a balance, like some sort of a neutral ground that will, maybe it's not going to make you absolutely happy, and maybe it's not going to help you figure out all of the answers to the questions that you have, but it hopefully, and I do think it's going to be enough to get yourself to keep on going, to push yourself to keep on going. And just keep on doing that. Helping other people or setting a goal is never ever a bad thing, as long as it doesn't hurt other people, of course. And then just keep on doing it. And I hope that helps.